Welcome in, everybody, and welcome back to another glorious mini game here on Second Level. I'm Asher Moore, joined today by the other two lovely men you see on screen, and we're going to play a little bit of Sports King of the Hill. Now, the way this game is going to work is we're going to go through a few different categories, and I'm going to list, like, for example, I'm going to list a player, and then I'm going to say player A, and then I'll put player B. And then you will decide if you want to keep player A at the top of the hill, keep player A at the top, or replace him with player B. Let's say we keep player A, and then we go to player C, and then player C is better than player A in our mind. Then we would replace player A at the top of the hill. So I got some fun categories picked out for us to go. But without further ado, should we get started, guys?
I suppose so. Get into it.
With each decision that the two of you make, you can either come to a consensus or disagree. And I want to hear a little bit of discussion as to why, because, we can just go, yeah, this is better, that's better. But where's the fun in that? We have a 3-minute long video, and then we get on about our day. I think it's more fun if we have a little discussion. So
yes,
I want to hear why each of you is choosing the option you chose. And then, if we got any disagreement, we can flesh that out in a full discussion. So without further ado, we're going to start with NBA superstars, and it's going to be the most basic way we can play this game to start. It's who would you rather have as your number one option right now, okay? So, player who's going to start at the top of the mountain, a guy with a lot of stuff in the news right now, with some certain circumstances that we'll try to keep discussion away from, but we're just thinking purely the player, purely on the court, what we get. And we're going to start with Zion Williamson atop our hill.
Okay.
Now, the first option I give you guys, Zion Williamson is your number one option, or Jamal Murray?
You know what? I might take Jamal Murray for this one, because I think we've gone injury-prone stars that were trying to become superstars and that the media was trying to tell us was going to be superstars. I'm going to give Jamal Murray the edge here, if only because he has made a finals before. The Pelicans with Zion have not even come close in any facet. And like you were saying in some of our other videos, Zion Williamson isn't even top of the line guy. He was playing 1B to Brandon Ingram's 1A, and he's always kind of been like that as he's been in the NBA. I'm going to say Jamal Murray as a quick off the jump Jamal Murray.
Nate, do we have a consensus from you here? Do you think Zion Williamson should stay atop our hill?
It's definitely a tough question, because I would probably lean with Zion, but it's kind of tough. Zion's, of course, lack of ability to stay on the floor has been a major concern throughout his career. But we also, it's like when he is healthy, he is definitely, I think, has the tools to be the guy. Of course, if you just take out the injuries, I think he has the tools to be the guy. With Jamal, the thing with Jamal, though, no knock on him. He's just playing next to the best player in the world. And of course, he's of course had way more playoff experiences. So, I'll probably go with Zion.
Okay.
So, in a situation like this where we don't have consensus among the two of you, I will be the tie-breaking vote to decide who stays atop our hill. And I think I have to go with Zion here. Now, the injury concerns are definitely a big issue, but I think overall, if they have to be my leading option, I think I trust Zion more in that role than I trust Jamal Murray, who kind of, like Nate mentioned, has been on a team with the best basketball player in the world for the past few years. It's pretty easy to succeed when you have that around you. So I think Zion could withstand the pressures of being a number one option better than Jamal. So I think we keep Zion for now.
Yeah, for right this second. Yeah. we're gonna leave him alone.
Our next option here, I'm going to go with Damian Lillard or Zion Williamson to be a number one option. Now, Dame, we've seen him be a number one option in the past. Are those days past him, or do we stick with Zion, who's got days ahead of him, but with the concerns we've talked about? I'm gonna start with you, Nate.
Shoot. I mean, this kind of obviously you gotta put into the fact that Damian Lillard just tore his Achilles at what is he, like 33 or something like that?
Something like that.
If this was before the Achilles injury, I could have probably still leaned Lillard, but with that in mind and his age, I would probably take the somewhat upset Zion, who he had his injuries as well. There's still some light. There could still be some light at the end of the tunnel that somehow, given the right maybe change of trainer or something, that his trajectory could change. While Damian Lillard, it seemed that he's probably going to be starting to decline a bit. To now, he's like more of a number two than more number one that he used to be in Portland.
Yeah, I tend to second that notion because I think Jamal Murray and Jokic kind of came into the Nuggets at the same time, and Jokic pretty quickly passed him to be number one, and Jamal is number two. When Damian got traded to Milwaukee, he got traded to Milwaukee to be a number two, whereas Murray was already at two. Lillard came down from 1 to 2 while Murray was already at a 2. I don't know if that's cause for decline or that's definitely the Achilles injury. I don't know. I think Zion still takes the top for me, at least in this case, because especially right now, even though he's probably one of, if not the worst absolute number one option in the league right now, he's still number one. He's not number two. He's still a number one on his team.
So are we both sticking? Are you both sticking with Zion atop our hill?
I think Zion stays. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the right call as well. I think we're gonna take Zion off our hill here because even though it's current day form, we're sticking with a lot of the theme here that I've kind of went with is guys who have had some history of injuries, and that becomes a little more apparent here with this next one. I've got Kawhi Leonard. Would you rather have current day Kawhi Leonard as a number one option or Zion Williamson as your number one option?
Kawhi.
I think it's Kawhi too, because for however load management extra garbage that he does, when he plays like he's played a couple times in these playoffs, he finally got back to number one option form. And he is a better number one option than Zion, even though he could be even more injury prone at that spot. But he is a better number one on average than Zion.
And the thing with Kawhi, even though he's not been on the court as often as he once was before, since basically 2019, when he does play, you can see why he's a future Hall of Famer. He's an absolute machine as a scorer. He can, what happens when he gets to his certain moves. He ain't missing those shots.
No,
he shows up in the playoffs. He did that against the Nuggets in Game 2. I mean, I think it's quite easy, Kawhi.
Yeah. The only concern with Kawhi is you don't get that true number one super talented effort every game, and that's kind of the only concern. But you also have the same issue with Zion and kind of the injuries. Well, now it gets a little interesting because I offer you for a number one option for your NBA team right now. Do you take Kawhi Leonard where he currently stands, or let's go with a young, fresh option? One of the best young players in the league, soon to probably take over the league. I think it's a safe prediction to make Victor Wembanyama or Kawhi Leonard to be your number one scoring option.
You know what? I think Wembanyama already has.
Yeah.
I think that's already happened. Everybody may have completely missed it because they've been watching Kawhi on the bench, but I think Wembanyama's already done it. I think it's already happened.
Yeah, I think that Yeah, I think that's definitely. I think that's pretty much already happened as well. I mean, I think it's like yeah, that's definitely already happened. I mean, he's now developing a 3-point shot. He was getting close. I think what 25-ish points per game. Yeah, it's just Victor. It's not much of a thought process of that. Me personally.
Yeah, he's at a Buddhist temple right now, trying to hone in the
Yes.
NBA gods right now, trying
Yeah,
to fix his
he
jump
shaved
shot.
his head. I saw the shaved head.
Yeah.
So I think he's really trying to tap into that, get that focus down. Well, this one might require a little more focus in that last question. You have current day Victor Wembanyama straight out of the temple, or the greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James. Right now, do you still pick Victor over LeBron as your number one option?
Like as this second, not like the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why I'm gonna say no?
Let's hear
You know why I'm gonna stick with Wembanyama at the top and not LeBron? LeBron has a history of turning into le GM on whatever team he's on and tries to fit the team around him. And I feel like his options for like his buddies as his teammates, like you guys have seen all the Cavs NBA finals he went on when he was trying to fight the Warriors, when he was sending out Kyle Korver and James Jones every game. He doesn't have many of those guys left. It's literally Anthony Davis, and he just got Luka, and the injuries are starting to ramp up for him way later than everybody thought, might I add. But I think if you had told me this 2 years ago, I would have probably said LeBron, but not anymore. I think he has a tendency to try and bring in other people and trying to build your team out, starting from LeBron, who also wants to build his team out, is not going to be a very good mesh if you're any GM anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards Wemby at this point. And I mean, that's just the simple fact that age is slowly, somehow still slowly getting into LeBron, just slowly. You know, he's only 40 years old, right? But it's still, you can start. I can start to see the age starting to get to him. Like he's no longer a guaranteed playoff this monster like he once was.
Yeah.
He's no longer as aggressive as he once was, which is to be expected. I mean, he's 40 years old. And with Wemby, I mean, he's Wemby. I mean, he's got all the tools in the bag to be probably potentially one of them generational talents. I mean, if he just didn't have a blood clot issue this past year, there could have been a chance that the Spurs could have gotten into at least a play-in.
Yeah.
With him in the second year in the league, I just think with LeBron is slowly starting to have that age catch up to him at 41 years old. I think it's just Wemby.
Yeah.
Yep. I would tend to agree with you guys. Now here's a fun one, and there's obviously we can't do it with this player in their current form because they will be recovering from a pretty gruesome injury. But we also have Victor Wembanyama, who probably isn't in playing shape right now either. So kind of have to get a little bit hypothetical with this comparison. But Victor Wembanyama, who sits atop our hill, or Jason Tatum as your number one option?
Okay. As of right now, I'm going Jason. As of right now, I mean Jason Tatum. I mean, before the injury, I'd say I'd have him top 5, and he's already proven that he can lead his teams countless of times to the finals, and he won one last year. Though even though Jalen Brown won Finals MVP, he's proven to be able to lead his teams to the finals, the conference finals, almost every year except for this year. Tatum gets a lot of crap with the media for some reason, but Tatum definitely is number one. And as of right now, I'd probably take him over Wemby. But if you're talking about like in 2 years from now, it's probably Wemby. But as of now, I'm sticking with Tatum.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. It's pretty close. It's neck and neck. If we don't have a Jason Tatum Achilles, the Celtics make it maybe a little bit further than they did, and they don't have a bunch of consistency problems with their overall roster. I do think Tatum is ahead of them. I think lots of teams like to build from the three out, like the small forward position where Tatum kind of plays. That's where LeBron played. That's kind of where teams, it seems like, to trend to mold their teams outward from there. Even though Wemby is really good, and like Nate said, I do think he's going to pass just about everyone. If we're taking Tatum pre-Achilles or Wemby pre-blood clot and just with the team around them, I think Tatum might be the best bet just for how the modern NBA works. Because I think we're looking at the comparison. This is pre-Achilles. We're looking at NBA Finals Tatum or rookie Wembanyama.
Well, I don't know if it's safe to say NBA Finals Tatum because they were still losing the series to the Knicks, and
I think so too, and it was awful close. Yeah,
they were being handled by the Knicks, I think, and the Knicks were already kind of running away with the series when Tatum went down.
Yeah, he was.
So I mean, it's Victor Wembanyama.
It's very close.
Yes, I think it's close, but I don't think we can call Tatum Finals Tatum at this point because we saw what him and the Celtics became as the season kind of came to an end for them. Like, I think Jason Tatum doesn't tear the Achilles, plays the rest of the series. The Knicks, I think, still win in the amount of games that they won in. So
that's fair.
Okay, so Jason Tatum sits atop our hill right now, and I've got three names left.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with this first name, who we just saw make a benchmark move this season. Number one option, Luka Doncic or Jason Tatum.
Okay.
The media's darlings. I think it's still Tatum. I don't know if that's right or not, but I think it's still Jason Tatum.
Nate, what do you think?
We're going off overall. We're going off like just this season.
I think this is you've got an NBA team. Tatum's healthy, recovered from the Achilles. Luka is Luka. You have to choose one of them to be your number one scoring option. Who's it going to be?
They're dang near tied. Because you got your Nick. Because you gotta start nitpicking when you get to these top dogs. Like with Luka, how great, he's of course incredible, one of the best players in the league for a reason. Though the one knock of him is it's like he needs a specific pieces around him to play how Luka plays, like how he did with Dallas, because he had all these 3-point shooters around him, catch and shoot guys, defensive guys, and when we see him on the Lakers, well, he still played phenomenal. 30 points. Still played good, but for his standards, he still kind of played lackluster. Now, if Tatum, I don't know, man.
It's tough. They're right there.
Definitely, it's a tricky one. I tried to make this one a difficult one.
Who's the more consistent 3-point shooter? I don't actually know that. Who's the more consistent 3-point shooter? Because I feel like it's Tatum. No?
I mean, Dante is more over. I think Tatum has to be. He's more reliable. More aligned on the three. Meanwhile, Luka usually uses pretty much all of the floor to work his magic.
Yeah,
but
he has a better bag.
I'd say Tatum is more portable.
Tatum is 2 points better, so he shoots about 37%, and Doncic shoots about 35% from three.
I mean, I would say Tatum's the more portable of the two. If you put Tatum in one spot, I think he would succeed a little better than if you just put Luka in some random spot. So I guess when you put that perspective, I might go Tatum just for the portable aspect. Because with Tatum, Luka, you need the specific things around him to succeed. While with Tatum, you can kind of, well, obviously when you have a superstar player, you would like to have X amount of talent around him, but I think you can get away with it a little more with Tatum than with Luka.
Yeah.
All right, so Tatum stays alive atop our hill.
Somehow.
I don't think this will be close. We got 2 names left. The first name, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. For me, this decision's easy. Is it as easy for you all as it is for me?
Yes, it's easy.
Yeah.
I also might have some slight bias towards him, but hey, it's Shai. I mean, it's Shai.
Yep.
I mean, he's the MVP in the league. He's currently in the playoffs, in the finals right now as we speak. I mean, he led his team to a 68 wins this season. I mean, it's not much you can, but it's Shai.
Yeah.
It's Shai.
Yeah.
Well, now I gave Shai to set up our final question for the NBA player number 1 option section. It's Shai. And our final challenger to be atop the hill, Nikola Jokic. We knew it was going to come down to arguably the 2 best players in the league right now, competed for the MVP. Who would you guys pick to be the ultimate number 1 in the NBA?
So
atop our hill.
Jokic.
Would Jokic be still good without Murray?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, absolutely.
Would Shai still be good without J-Dub?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Because I think I'm going Jokic still, even though Shai won MVP. It was just Jokic is still how I said it. I'm like, it was neck and neck all season, but like the thing that got Shai the advantage was the 68 wins. With the 68 wins with Jokic. So, I mean, he is the best player in the league for a reason. He can put the team on his back. He makes everybody around him better.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take him off the Nuggets would probably it was a lot worse than they are. His offensive bag is historically efficient for a big man.
Yeah.
He had a 50-40-90 splits this season as a big man. I think so. He is triple double. Sorry, but yeah. To me, it's quite easily Jokic.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that because you're right. If you take Jokic away from the Nuggets, they're a mid to bottom tier team. If you take Shai from the Thunder, they're gonna be worse, but not so much worse that they're gonna miss the playoffs. There's still good players there, but if you pull Jokic from the Nuggets, they're done. They go back to Kenneth Faried, Ty Lawson Nuggets.
Yeah. I think Jokic is the clear cut, I think, best player in the world and the easy king of the hill for the NBA scoring option category. I want to turn our attention away from players for this next category, and it's going to be American sporting venues.
Ooh, okay.
So, a little less statistical involvement and more kind of personal feeling one. I think this could be opportunity for some good discussion. And we're going to start with a sacred ground for college basketball, and that's the Cameron Indoor at Duke University. And that's what's going to be to start off for our King of the Hill. I think it's clearly a top venue in all of college athletics. It gets so loud, especially when UNC comes to town, and I think it's a good starting point for what we're going to do. I want to compare it's the same sport. We're going to stay within basketball, but it's a completely different feel. We have the confines of Cameron Indoor or the Chase Center in San Francisco. And the way that we're going to do this category is where you would rather watch a game.
Do we want to get raucous and crazy with the Duke crowd? Or do we want to go to Chase Center? I don't know. I don't know.
Like we're talking about peak. I'm guessing we're talking about peak of the peaks of both these arenas. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
You're
can
talking
get they're both going to get insanely loud. The product on the court is going to be great.
NBA,
Yeah.
the NBA in the NBA Finals and Chase Center. Are we talking basically talking about? Yeah, we go. Okay. Shit.
Yeah. Or NBA Finals in the Chase Center, or this
like
Duke
Duke
team
UNC.
crushes.
Duke UNC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew,
I feel like it's going to be the same energy at both.
Mm-hmm.
the thing with Cameron Indoor, it's a lot more. It's a little more confined with how they set up the arena. It's a lot more like
It's very personal.
it's a lot more closer personal than of course Chase Center is. Well, I mean, I'll probably go Cameron Indoor. It's of course it's a college environment. It's not much better you can get than a college environment in any sport. It's because they rowdy.
Mm-hmm.
It's Duke. It's Duke basketball, especially Duke versus UNC because they absolutely hate each other's guts.
Yep.
It would be. It's probably you probably can't hear anything in that thing, especially if it's a close game.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going Cameron Indoor.
I don't know. I might go Chase Center because that place, when the team is good, that place blows up.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane in there.
Yeah.
I might go Chase Center for that. I know I'm immediately tearing off the college team, but I've got to go Chase Center, man. I can't go anywhere else for that.
So it comes down to me to be the deciding vote here for us. This one's tricky because, man, just to hear the pop after Steph hits like a big three at Chase Center would be incredible. But also, like, with how personal Cameron is and to hear just the pure noise, the wall of noise that is there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is tough. I think I'm going to have to go with Chase Center just because Curry hits a big three late in the game. I can just feel the mini earthquake happen.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with Chase Center for now to stay.
Yeah.
So
he drills a three in the finals, and
Yeah.
you can't hear the announcers on the TV.
Yeah. So Chase Center remains at the top of our hill, and I want to move to compare it to another loud environment, and that's Beaver Stadium at Penn State.
Ooh, okay.
The second largest capacity stadium in college football, and a place that, you get a whiteout at Penn State or a finals game at Chase Center. Which one are you going to?
Beaver Stadium.
Yeah, you gotta go to the whiteout game. That's not even.
Yeah.
No offense to Chase Center, but that's really denying the same sentence.
Yeah.
A whiteout Penn State is absolutely deafening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a little football bias myself too, so I would tend to say that that's the clear and easy pick to go with.
Yeah.
I mean, a whiteout there just seems absolutely insane. So, would you rather go to the whiteout at Penn State or watch a very important game at the Superdome, whether it be the Saints in a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl at the Superdome, just any important game at the Superdome, or an important game at Beaver Stadium? Which venue would you rather go to?
New Orleans has good Super Bowls, dude.
The history is there.
It is. It's a Super Bowl too. So I'm like, do I want to turn on the Super Bowl? Okay. I mean, if you're adding in the Super Bowl, man.
Well, I would it's more like
know.
the venue itself, comparing it. Which the games that have been played there set the precedent for the kind of games that get played there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top cream the crop. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Saints always do good at home. They always play well at home.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when they had Drew Brees and that place got loud, and it would just be an environment that would give them a huge advantage in games.
100%.
But man, I just
does it beat out the potential for the whiteout at Penn State for you?
I know that NFL loves their capacity crowds and they love to talk about it. The Saints don't have a whiteout. The Saints don't have a whiteout level event that they do consistently enough. They have really good Super Bowls at the Superdome. I don't know if they can beat a whiteout. Whiteouts go nuts.
Yeah.
They ain't got a whiteout. They ain't got a complete sold out whiteout at 7 p.m. on a random October Saturday night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
On ABC.
That's what it is. Super Bowl or Penn State is playing Ohio State at 7.
Yeah.
And it's a whiteout game.
For me, it's I think the whiteout game wins this one. Yeah.
That would be
That's tough to beat.
I couldn't even put into words how I'd probably feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll stick within football again, and we've been playing this game with Penn State where they have this really crazy environment. Mm-hmm. So we'll play the college football environment game. Would you rather go to a game at Penn State with everything? We talked about it. We set the precedent for what that game would be, or a game locally here at Neyland Stadium, a big time game. Maybe let's say a Tennessee, Alabama.
Oh, I got the stadium right behind me.
Everybody look to. You know what? Everybody look to Nate's Neyland picture and cry because I think it's still the whiteout. I think it's still the whiteout.
That's true. I got to try not to be biased here. But okay. Okay. Dang.
If UT was going to go in and do something like checkerboard in the stands, which I think they've tried before, that would be sick.
They did it for the Florida game last year.
Yeah, they did. That's right. That would be sick.
It's pretty cool to see.
They've got to do that more consistently for it to come up the board for me, even in comparison to the whiteout. The whiteouts go crazy. I know we're 2 hours away, and Clay would probably beat us all up. But this has got to be... This is Penn State still. This is still Penn State.
I'm actually just like 15 minutes away from the stadium, but... So I'm like, what? Yeah. But dang, that's one thing that Penn State probably would have over us is that's the dang stadium and that whiteout.
It's going to be hard to dethrone that one.
Oh my goodness!
It seems like we all are big whiteout fans. I didn't know where y'all would stand on that when I picked that one out, but that was one I'm a big fan of it.
Dude, it's nuts.
I try not to be biased, so I'm just gonna go whiteout.
Yeah.
But
all right.
You played in Penn State in college football. It's terrible. Yeah. If you play that in college football 25, it's horrific.
You never get to see your routes. You never get to see what icons your receivers are.
It's horrific.
You don't get to see anything. It's miserable. So good luck. Especially you get behind a few points. Oh no.
Yeah, it's over.
Well, okay. So I want to see which one now, because I'm liking this kind of pathway we're going down with football here, and I want to know which one you guys would rather go to between the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, a historic ground of college football, and UCLA plays there sometimes, I guess. But we don't have to talk much about them.
No,
but
forget it.
A game at the Rose Bowl or a Penn State whiteout. Which venue would you rather find yourself at?
What's my Rose Bowl game?
All right, how about... I'm trying to think. Okay, what about Rose Bowl when Oklahoma and Georgia played? Think of that game a few years ago, that level Rose Bowl, where it goes to overtime. College football playoff Rose Bowl game, or maybe a Michigan-Alabama from
that would be good.
The season before last, where it went to overtime.
I mean, I gotta go with the OG here, the historic Rose Bowl. I mean, it's the Rose Bowl for a reason. It's probably one of the most iconic stadiums in football history.
I tend to go with that too. Telling people you went to a whiteout game, they'll be like, "Oh, great, okay." If they like straight up do not know football or ball at all, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, great." But if you tell them you went to the Rose Bowl, any Rose Bowl, they'll be like, "Oh, that's awesome." I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. I think Rose Bowl is the finally the pick to dethrone Penn State's wideout.
Yeah.
So I want to stick with some tradition here.
Okay.
We got the Rose Bowl sitting atop our hill right now, but let's compare it to another historical place to watch a game. And let's say Fenway Park. Would you rather watch a Sox game at Fenway, all the history that's there, or a Rose Bowl? Imagine a Boston Red Sox World Series game at Fenway.
Oh, yeah.
All the history there.
Baseball got different kind. Baseball has a different kind of history too. So it's like
the final out in a World Series or final touchdown at the Rose Bowl.
You got the big monster, or you got the Rose Bowl. Oh man. You got a World Series with David Ortiz hitting a walk-off home run, or just a Rose Bowl I'm going to Fenway Park.
If the Sox are good, I might go Fenway Park too.
Yeah, it's a place I really want to get to soon.
I think I've been there once, but I cannot remember. I cannot tell you what the game was or anything. But I've been there once.
Yep. So
I think Fenway takes that.
Fenway takes the top spot. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know if the baseball would pull over the impact of a Rose Bowl.
Some of these baseball stadiums have been around for a long time. That's a big deal to go to some of these places. Yeah. Fenway, Camden, a lot of these places are massive.
Camden's a place I want to get to at some point too, just to see everything, and then with the warehouse behind right field, just that all the history, just all surrounding that whole area. I want to. That's definitely a dream trip for me. But Fenway sits atop our hill. Mm-hmm. I want to stay within baseball now, since we're doing this kind of historic theme, very important as of the past few picks. Wrigley Field or Fenway Park?
Oh, ouch. So we have David Ortiz,
both directions.
David Ortiz and the Sox, or Cubs break the curse and win the World Series.
Well, they both. Oh, let me see. How about the Red Sox beat the Bambino curse?
Yes.
And then the Cubs beat their long curse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we want the Ivy or the Green Monster?
Ivy.
Yeah. You know what?
Wow.
It's awful close, but I think you want the Ivy. I listed off a bunch of baseball stadiums just a second ago. Wrigley's at the top of that one. I think that's at the top.
So the history of Wrigley prevails for you. What about Nate? You think you're going with the Ivy over the Monster?
Yeah, I'm going Wrigley.
Yep. So Wrigley takes the top spot, and this is now kind of a battle of the historic grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wrigley Field, you get to watch we've talked about the impact of the game that could be played there, or a game at what I think is the most historic spot in the NFL at Lambeau Field.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. I gotta go Lambeau. Lambeau just hits. I don't know why, but the Lambeau Field just hits different with me.
I tend to agree with that too. Even though I'm a heathen Bears fan to Packers fans, I think seeing a game at Lambeau would be cool, especially if you get front row in one of the end zones and one of the Packers players jumps to you.
Yeah. That
would be sick. I think Lambeau takes it. Yeah. That's a good argument. I like the Lambeau right there.
Well, just like we've seen for so many years in real life, the Packers get a win over Chicago.
Yeah, not
surprised. Wrap up a fun little sports venue category. And I want to say that looking through there's so many different venues. There were so many different places I wanted to go, but trying to kind of involve all these historic places into that category. There's so many amazing sports venues that got left off the list. Like we could have had, there's Madison Square Garden I didn't put on just because I didn't know where to try to tie it into. But
Yeah.
MSG is obviously a phenomenal spot, and there's so much that happens there. Like Yankee Stadium is historic.
Yeah.
I think Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia in
Yeah.
playoff time is unreal.
TD Garden.
Yeah, the TD Garden when it gets popping is crazy. Oklahoma City's got an underrated arena too,
Yeah,
and when it comes playoff time, man, that place is it's like a college basketball environment.
Yeah.
And I think college basketball has some of the best environments in sports.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so lot of phenomenal places that could have been on that list that didn't make it, but a fun category, and Lambeau Field sits atop our hill for historic and then popular American sport venues. So now it's NBA Finals time.
Okay.
Let's talk some NBA Finals matchups we've had over the past over recent times. And I want me to tell you which finals matchup you would rather watch.
Okay.
Okay? So to start it off, we might as well start fresh. And we'll start with the 2024 matchup of the Celtics and the Mavericks. Would you guys rather watch that or the 2023 finals with the Nuggets and the Heat?
Mavericks and Celtics.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that one. I think the Heat got there and then immediately realized they were overmatched. And I think that was evident to see even through the TV.
Yeah.
So I think the Celtics Mavs finals would be more fun to watch out of those two.
Celtics Mavs finals or Warriors Celtics finals from 2022. Which finals do you think was better and would you rather watch?
Warriors Celtics. I mean, mainly just because of the storyline of Steph getting his fourth ring, and the Warriors getting their first ring after that stint of the bad luck they went through for a little bit. That's just the main reason.
Yeah, Curry finally got his redemption that series. He can finally carry a team by himself, even though he could anyways. Yeah. I think for storyline purposes only, and I like a good storyline, I think Warriors Celtics beats out Celtics Mavericks.
All right. We saw Curry get his first finals MVP and establish himself in that series. Let's compare it to someone's first championship in LA for LeBron. Heat Lakers or Celtics Warriors final? Which one?
Oh yeah.
That was Heat Lakers in the bubble, right?
Yeah, the bubble final, the Disneyland final.
I actually kind of really like the bubble. I don't know why I personally really like the bubble.
Did you?
Just from the pure basketball watching it. But obviously, it's not. You gotta include. There's no crowd in there. So
yeah,
right.
You don't get the same. It's just not the same. But
yeah, just from that alone, it's gotta be the Warriors and Celtics.
Yeah. Because it's hard to imagine a crowd in there too. Yeah, it's just for circumstances. It was of the times. I think if there was people there, it would have been fine. Yeah, but I do think the Warriors Celtics story through line would have worked better.
The potential for what could have been for that Heat Lakers final series. Especially after the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, what that finals would have looked like for LA if it was in LA. I think that had the potential to be a
100%
all-time moment.
But it just wasn't.
We just circumstances kind of prevent that one. So Curry's first finals MVP remains atop our hill. Let's talk about what was thought to be the end of the Warriors dynasty. And the Raptors-Warriors finals from 2018. Would we rather watch that or the Celtics-Warriors finals? A Raptors-Warriors finals that was kind of marked by some very bad injuries for Golden State.
Yeah.
That kind of prevented that from being everything I think it could have been.
Yeah, it wasn't super competitive in that sense, but I'm also a sucker for new teams making the finals. I like new matchups and new teams getting there. So in that sense, I kind of like the Raptors-Warriors one more. I know it slowly got less and less competitive as more and more of Warriors players went out. But as far as matchup-wise, I think that would have been a fun one to see because the Raptors fans were all in. They were all in. All the
Toronto.
Warriors fans is that was the standard at that point. They'd been there before, but once those games got to Toronto, they went nuts.
Yeah, no, it was insane. I mean, Canada showed out. They wanted that ring for not only the organization but for the country itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To kind of get that championship. So, you guys picking Toronto?
Yeah,
I think I'm going Toronto. Yeah,
I'm going Toronto.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a myriad of Cavs Warriors finals to pick from. I'm gonna pick not the best one yet. We'll save that matchup.
okay.
But the 2019 Raptors Warriors finals or the 2015 Warriors Cavs finals. Steph's first ring, LeBron's first finals appearance back in Cleveland. What do we think? It's two series that are also marked by some injuries as well.
Yeah.
We saw with in the 2015 the Cavs injuries, and then 2019 the Warriors injuries.
I mean, I think I'd go 2015. I mean, you got two separate storylines in that one alone, with the Warriors dynasty getting birthed out of nowhere. The Warriors coming out of nowhere that season and becoming not only a great team, but they win a championship. And then on the other side, you have LeBron just putting the Cavs completely on his back like he usually did. And if the Finals MVP could have been given to both sides, I bet he would have won it that year, even with a loss, with losing that series.
Yeah.
So I'm going 2015.
I think I will go with that one too, because like you said at that point, that was the very first finals that the Warriors and Cavs had done. That was kind of still like a novelty matchup then. If you had picked any of the ones after that, I would have probably said Toronto Warriors, but if this was the very first one, I think this is still prime LeBron. This is, like Nate said, this is brand new Warriors team. It's a new thing, and it's leading off like the next generation of what finals teams are going to attempt to build afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, they just seeing what the only thing I think that could have made that series better is if Steph got his first ring in Golden State, like in Oakland.
Right.
I think if he would have been able to win that first ring in front of that crowd, I think that was the only thing that could have made that series better. And obviously, if the Cavs were healthy.
Yeah.
So we have a new top of the mountain with the 2015 finals. Do we take that matchup, the 2015 finals, or a fun matchup in LeBron, another matchup involving LeBron, where we see in 2011, his first finals appearance with the Heat, they fall to the Mavericks. It won what was kind of a historic run from the Mavericks to get there and win that championship. Would we rather say that one or Curry's first ring in 2015? Which finals would you rather watch? I think for me, this one's clear.
That one's it's close-ish. That Mavericks storyline heading all the way in with Nowitzki finally getting in there. That's a solid pickup. I don't know. That one's up in the air for me.
I'm probably going 2011 just because the fact that this was the first year of the Heatles at its peak of power. You thought they were just unbeatable at the time. There's the villains versus the Mavericks, who I'm sure no one saw that coming. I mean, one of the greatest individual player runs of all time.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
They're going in there and just taking them down.
Yeah, convincingly too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just like on accident. They beat them like good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they look like they deserve to win that series.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fluky series at all.
Yeah.
So the 2011 series sits atop our mountain, and we're at the point where these finals matchups start getting really good. There's a lot of history. The 2011 Mavericks over Heat finals, or the 2013 Heat over Spurs finals, where obviously in that series Ray Allen hits one of the biggest shots in NBA history.
Yeah.
which of those two series? Well, obviously the Mavericks' historic run, or LeBron gets his second in Miami and kind of cements himself really as in that GOAT conversation, like really making it known that, hey, this isn't just I'm not having a great career, I'm having an otherworldly career.
Oh, yeah, that's that shot. You got that shot's a shot for a reason. And it's it's very much nostalgic for me too. But I'd personally go 2013 because I just that was just a very nostalgic series for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I tend to go that way too. I think there's an argument to be made that Ray Allen's shot is the most famous shot, and he was even having, because he was older at that point, he was having some real problems early on in the game trying to find his shot. But once he hit that one, you can't forget the YouTube video that you watched with that highlight in it, or just watching the game itself. That is one of the most, if not the most, iconic NBA Finals moments within the past, 30 to 50 years, I would almost say.
Well, we're going to have an iconic finale for this category.
Okay.
Because we have the 2013 Heat versus Spurs matchup, and I already teased it, but the 2016 Cavs versus Warriors, the 3-1. And we get two kind of historic moments. We get, just like two historic calls from the announcer, Mike Bream doing the obviously the shot, the Allen shot, and then the blocked by James. Two just iconic calls. Two iconic series. Who is the ultimate king of our hill for these NBA Finals matchups?
2016.
Yeah.
That's just
coming back from 3-1 down.
Yeah.
That was like never ever done before, and that's so unlikely to do.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron fulfilling his promise. There's so much. There's NBA Finals matchups that are comparable, but I think this one is just head and shoulders above any, at least over the past 15, 20 years, NBA Finals, just because the historic 3-1 comeback, then in that final game, all the crazy moments, but then just the sub storylines like Draymond being suspended for a game, and then just little other parts of that series that made it really interesting. So yeah, I think that it is definitely deserving to be our king of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to do one more category, and this one I think provides some opportunity for some good discussion, and it is college football rivalry matchups.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll start small. We'll start in the Big Ten, something a little bit far away from where we all reside, but a matchup I think we can respect to start off will be Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Okay.
I believe this is the matchup that plays for Paul Bunyan's axe.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so. I forget what it's called, but I think that's the one. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, it is. It is the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. So
yeah.
I think it's a good starting point. Obviously, two great atmospheres, and it's going to go up against the holy war of Utah and BYU.
Ooh.
Who starts as our king of the hill?
I'm leaning toward Holy War. I am leaning that way because, one, the name is sick.
Yeah.
And two, I don't know. Maybe I have a very, I'd watch college football enough, but I'm not, all the way in. But I feel like that, I know they're both Big Ten teams, but that matchup just sounds like Wisconsin, at least recently, has had better teams and just sweeps the floor with Minnesota. I don't know if that's 100% true at all, but I just for the fact of I don't know. I can probably think of one if I sit here and think, but I can't pull Minnesota NFL players out of my head as quickly as I can Wisconsin players. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like in that one, Wisconsin kind of overshadows Minnesota. That
At least
going for the axe is cool, but I think the Holy War, that's fun. Whoever came up with that is very, very smart.
the interesting thing with Minnesota and Wisconsin is the series is tied all time.
Is
63,
it really?
63, and 8.
Okay. Well, that is interesting.
So,
okay.
But I think recently Minnesota has been kind of outshined by what Wisconsin has been recently. So I definitely see the recency bias going against that rivalry because it's not been as competitive.
Because I know Minnesota was good at some point, just not recently.
National champion winner in the past. They're just that's not what they are right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Nate, does the Holy War top the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe for you in terms of college football rivalries?
I think so. I mean, it's got the fact of it's an in-state rivalry. I think. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an in-state rivalry. I mean, I don't know too much about the history of it, but I would imagine that there's some pretty bad blood between them two just for that alone. So I'm going to BYU Utah rivalry.
Yeah.
Well, we got the Holy War against a rivalry that provided any viewers with a war of attrition, and that's Texas A&M and LSU.
Okay.
Which rivalry is better? Obviously, I mentioned it, but the 7 overtime game that was between those two in the past is kind of a notable matchup, and then BYU and Utah just played seemingly great games whenever they match up. I feel like there's a little more bad blood between BYU and Utah than there is between LSU and Texas A&M. It kind of feels like a forced rivalry, but still get some great games out of it.
Yeah. Utah and BYU, I think, is the better rivalry. So that leans me to go that way. But I do think LSU and A&M have better games.
Yeah.
But the rivalry, the Holy War rivalry is better. So I think I might lean that way. I'm curious what Nate thinks.
Nate, where are you going?
I think just from a pure rivalry perspective, I think BYU Utah is better. Just from a pure rivalry perspective. Yeah. BYU Utah takes the edge still.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, it feels like there's more skin in the game for both of those teams. So, BYU and Utah, the Holy War, or Ole Miss and Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
a classic SEC rivalry here.
Yeah, I got at least one. I changed mine. Gonna go Egg Bowl. I mean, obviously it's another in-state rivalry, but this time it's in the SEC, and in the SEC football runs deep as well, and at the top of an in-state rivalry. I mean, and it's Mississippi, so they got nothing better to do down there but to watch football.
Yeah.
So I think it's they ain't got nothing but bad blood down there, so they're gonna go to the Egg Bowl for that one.
Yeah, I can second that. SEC rivalries hit different, and I think everybody in the college football world is starting to notice that. But yeah, SEC rivalries hit different. In-state SEC rivalries hit even harder.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you another in-state rivalry, but this one is out of the Big Ten, and it's Michigan versus Michigan State.
Ooh.
Or the Egg Bowl, who currently sits at the top of our hill.
Michigan has some great games and moments, too.
Yeah.
I think back. Yeah. I was about to say. I think back to the muff punt or the fumble punt touchdown.
I might go the Michigan one.
Yeah,
I might go Michigan and Michigan State because Michigan turns up for that game. The entire state turns up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Michigan State. I mean. You could pick up that Ole Miss and Mississippi don't like each other, but that Michigan and Michigan State don't like each other.
Yeah. But
I guess.
Yeah.
So Michigan State now sits at the top of our hill of college football rivalries. The next matchup to challenge it is another in-state battle. It's Clemson and South Carolina in the Palmetto Bowl.
Ooh.
That matchup or Michigan State?
I think recency bias might be getting me a little bit with this one. I feel like Clemson crushes this matchup.
Historically, it's
Yeah.
not even close. It's like 70-something to 40-something.
Yeah, I think Clemson crushes that matchup, and
It does.
I think that's what's going to make me give the edge to Michigan again.
Probably. I mean, they obviously both sides hate each other, both ends. But then you got to add in the on-field performances, and I think you could say, I think we could say Michigan State. Michigan has better performances than South Carolina, Clemson as of late.
Yeah,
So you got to nitpick this. So you can go Michigan State.
yeah.
All right. So Michigan State, the in-state hate matchup, or the Civil War, Oregon State.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna still go Michigan State.
I think so too, you know. Well, obviously we probably don't watch very many Oregon games. But
I love this matchup personally.
Do
This
you?
one's one I love this one. They hate each other.
Oh, I
It's
figured they
great
do.
games.
I figured they do. It's just I don't know. It's
They
just
don't-
a matter of games that
Yeah.
I've seen. I feel like I
Yeah.
don't see, even when
Yeah.
it's one of these games, I don't see Oregon State getting advertised as much, and maybe that's just a recency bias thing too. But I feel like Oregon would crush that matchup as well. It's probably closer than Clemson, South Carolina, but I feel that's another one where Oregon just wipes the floor with the Beavers.
So does Michigan State stay at top for you too?
I think it
so.
does.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Michigan State. I think this will be the matchup that takes them off. We're going to go with Georgia and Florida in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. I think that matchup blows that one out of the
Yeah,
water.
we'll just skip to the
Absolutely.
next one.
I was waiting to
Yeah.
get there. We got there. Let's start getting into the real heavy hitters.
Yeah,
The
we'll just
world's
skip to the
largest-
next one.
I'd
World's-
probably get
Largest outdoor cocktail party, or USC Notre Dame. We got the partying and the craziness and SEC football in the South, or we have the tradition and like just the like this is like the classy. It feels like the classy rivalry in football.
Yeah, that's historic.
Yeah. I want that college football trash. Give me Georgia and Florida again.
I think that's where college football is at its finest.
Yeah, it's tough. Because I mean, though in USC and Notre Dame haven't really had a rivalry as of late as much.
Mm-hmm.
If this was
Notre
like
Dame's been better.
if this was like 20 years ago, in the 20th century, I think it's going to be an easy choice at Notre Dame and USC. But as of late, it's probably Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, I feel like I thought that this matchup was going to turn into something greater when Lincoln Riley went to USC. I thought USC Notre Dame might be back to what it is, especially with how good of a coach Marcus Freeman is. But unfortunately, just hasn't been the greatest of matchups.
Yeah, they've had
let's
better
turn now.
matchups with multiple Big Ten teams over the USC. And Notre Dame.
You think
has
Notre
at
Dame,
least.
Notre Dame, Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Yeah, I mean, better games than any of their USC games, I think. So, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, Georgia, Florida, still at the top of our college football rivalry hill. Now, do we leave it there, or is it replaced by the Red River Shootout or the Red River rivalry? Say that 10 times fast between Texas and Oklahoma.
Oof.
I think it is. I think so. I'd go with Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That one's awful close, though. I don't know. I'm gonna have somebody
in
else.
Dallas at the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a historic game, but I mean, both of these are at neutral sites, so you get the neutral site
True.
aspect of it. Both of these, I mean, they're big parties. They're big. I mean, the schools hate each other in both of these matchups.
Yeah, I don't know.
For me personally, I think the hatred is deeper between Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah. I'll second that. We'll go Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah, I think it takes the top spot. So, Oklahoma, Texas, or a game with maybe not as much high-class football. I mean, I think the matchups are phenomenal, but you don't have the big names in this one. But the history and all that surrounds this game, I think, make it worthy of in this discussion. Oklahoma, Texas, the Red River Shootout, or Army, Navy.
Oh, yeah, Army, yeah.
People that don't watch football watch the Army Navy game.
Yeah, it has every. I mean, it's just it's kind of like a pinnacle football event, event every year.
That's why. There's a reason why it has his own week where this the only game that's played.
Yep.
I mean, that's when the hatred comes out between those two military schools.
Yes, and the hatred's deep. They take it seriously, man.
Mm-hmm.
But have the games been as good as Texas, Oklahoma?
The games aren't as appealing to the football eye, I will say. If you like, I mean, with the way that football is played now, where everyone's throwing it and scoring a bunch of points, Army Navy is definitely different. You're not going to see the same style of game between these two games.
No,
Texas,
not at all. They're gonna shove each other's running backs down the defense's throat.
Yeah. It's a race to 50.
Yeah.
Between Oklahoma and Texas, it's a race to 15. Between Army and Navy. So it's two different styles. What do you guys pick?
I'm probably doing Army Navy.
Yeah, me too. If only because I know that's a football game that people watch when they don't watch football. I know lots of people that are like, "Oh yeah, the Army Navy game's on," and like, I didn't know the Army Navy game was on. How do you know?
Well, the Army Navy game sits atop of our hill, and I have two more rivalries left. The first one is the Iron Bowl between Auburn and Alabama. Does that take the place of Army Navy as the king of the hill? Or does the pageantry and the history of Army Navy give it enough to stay at the top?
Give me back my redneck football, baby. Give me back my redneck football. I want Auburn, Alabama.
When you're from the South like we are, I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You hear it's not Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
That's the pinnacle rivalry down south.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. Well, you say in general, Nate, we have one more matchup, and I think if anyone knows anything about college football, you know what I'm going to say. The game, Michigan, Ohio State. Now, we're in the South, so this game means a little bit less to us than it might mean to a lot of others, but this game is just it's hatred.
It's
hatred to the fullest degree. Like, we saw a brawl this past year. It's insane. It's storylines galore.
Yeah,
man.
I'm from Ohio. Ohio State Michigan games go crazy. And I was going to say this earlier when we were moving Michigan and Michigan State up and up the hill. There is only one matchup that is better for Michigan than when they play Michigan State. It's Michigan-Ohio State. That I think that is the marquee college football matchup. If I was to tell somebody to go watch a college football game, they could go watch any Ohio State-Michigan football game.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's like the one thing anybody can agree on. That's the best rivalry.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Michigan.
I think the Iron Bowl is a great game. I think the Iron Bowl provides so many great moments. Obviously, I think it provided the greatest college football moment of all time in the Kick Six. But I mean, Michigan and Ohio State, it's war. It's war,
and it always is, and always will be.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a game going on, it's always war.
Exactly.
Yep. I love when the Ohio State pages all block out the letter M on all of their on every word doesn't have the letter M in it. It's all X'd out. It's great to see.
Yeah.
That's hatred, man. And I think it's rightfully the top of our college football rivalry hill. and a great way to conclude what's been a fun game of Sports King of the Hill.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe for even more games. We've got Nate's game coming. We're going to be rolling these out as much as we possibly can because we really like playing them. We're like 2-3 games deep. Are you guys having fun with these? I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
These are a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
All right. But we will be back next time. This has been Second Level Sports, and we're out of here.
Peace out.
Peace.